mean, what a difference. I mean, night and day.
This is Vinny, who's agreed to come and talk with us about some of the results that he's seen. He specifically used the Class 4 laser and the Vitalite bed, and he said that he had some amazing results when nothing else was working. So thanks for doing this.
Sure,
Appreciate
pleasure
that.
to be here. Pleasure to be here.
This bicep tendonitis for a good 6 months. Finally, Randy said, hey man, let's do something. Came in, started with the red light, the table, the laser. I mean, amazing. Like a month or two, I am 100%. I even forgot to wear the brace last week and I was in action. So tell you what, Columbia Chiropractic.
So you're a really active guy. You've been playing hockey for 20 years. You've been sponsoring a team at the Plex in Columbia.
Right.
And pretty much no injuries, right? You take great care of yourself, you get adjusted, doing great. And then tell us what happened last year with your shoulder.
Sure. So last July, I started feeling, it was really more my bicep. I don't know, wasn't any event that I went, oh, I really injured it. Started getting really sore and it just got progressively worse. I went online, looked at all the YouTube videos, do this, do that, and it was chronic. It kept going. So again,
and what was the pain? Can you explain what it felt like?
The pain. So, like going up on my arm like this, and I went and had an orthopedic surgeon, someone I play hockey with, Mickey Plymell, looked at it and said, no, it's not anything to do with a separated shoulder from years ago. It's the bicep, and it's just it started here and went all the way down. Forget about going back to doing push-ups or weights. It just was really painful. I ended up favoring my left arm. It was really, really bad, and it went on and on and on.
Which is a good point. Like that's kind of the first step is you make sure that you don't have a muscle that's completely torn or a shoulder that's dislocated or something like that. Yeah. And so he told you basically it's not going to get worse, but it might not get better. Is that what he said? Or what? How did he word it?
He basically said that, so I wanted to stay active in hockey. Mm-hmm. So I had really good advice from Dr. Randy. Used this kinesiology tape, and I also got, at your advice, the rotator cuff brace. Mm-hmm. I said, so it's okay. He said, as long as it's feeling okay, don't worry about it. Yep. I did go and get a cortisone shot. He sent me to one of his specialists, and I went and got a shot. Did, a little bit better, a little improvement, but still, it just seemed chronically, it wasn't getting worse, but it just was not getting any better.
Yes. So give us the timeline then. So that was July you started noticing it, right?
Yes, early July.
And then you talked to the orthopedic surgeon in August,
maybe late August.
And then you took the cortisone shot probably in...
Maybe a week later.
Okay. And then that helped, but still wasn't great. And you were... No. Then for how long were you just kind of stuck in this, it's not getting better, I can still do things, but it's just not improving?
Probably until about October or November.
Yeah, okay.
When you and I, finally talked, and of course, before our games, you were helping me do the tape and do the rotator cuff, and after the game, I'd always report to you. Yeah. Feels okay, but I was not able to perform like I wanted to.
Yes, okay. So then we talked about this Sumis medical laser that I have, which I think you'd never tried it before, right? Or hadn't seen it?
Hadn't even heard of it.
And then also we had the Vitalite bed, which is different spectrums of red light and blue light to help with inflammation. And so he said, come out and try this. So that was I think that was the end of November probably.
I think so.
And then you started doing it, and then tell us kind of how it went. Tell us how your experience was.
Sure.
And what you saw from it.
I really felt, in the beginning, I felt, okay, I've got to give it a try. Over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, I think I ended up having 6 or 7, maybe 8 of the laser, and about the same of the bed. But it just started getting progressively better. And I think I shared with you, I even forgot to use the brace a couple of times playing hockey, not the games that we're in together, but other games. And it was no issue, no issue at all. So I just saw it, and I wasn't doing anything different. That was the only difference that would have affected it. Yes. I was still doing the same exercise. I'm a big stretcher. I've always stretched religiously, at least once a day, and I think that's been the key to probably not getting injured.
Yes.
But it was, what a difference. Night and day.
That's cool.
Night and day. And then finally, now, I'm not saying the odd time I won't go, oh, I shouldn't have done that, but 95%.
That's amazing.
It is.
And a lot of people, I think, would just keep getting cortisone shot after cortisone shot, or they would just say, I'm getting old and I'm going to have to live with this. Or I've even known people who said, well, I'm not going to be able to do the sport that I love anymore.
Right.
Because they didn't know what to do or a different option.
Yeah.
And maybe people watching this, they're thinking like, oh, well, he's just a young guy. He's probably recovers quickly. Are you open to telling everyone your age?
I finally last year qualified for Medicare. I'll be 66 in July.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I've always tried to take care of myself. I live a very health conscious lifestyle, but I am not that person, Randy, that was just going to sit back and say, I'm going to live with this or I'm going to let it interfere with activity, because I mean, why do everything that I do to stay healthy? Diet, exercise, health conscious, just try to get sleep, stress control, stretching. I wasn't going to deal with it. So, but again, I didn't have the key that was going to make the huge difference, and that was the laser and that bed.
That's hot.
Yeah, huge.
And then you've been getting adjusted for years, right? Years and years and years. You
Absolutely.
said. So, at 65 or almost 66, I'm sure you've seen some people who didn't take care of themselves and went down another road.
Right.
Can you speak to like kind of how you've seen the trajectory of your health be different than the trajectory of a lot of people around you?
It's just crazy, and I not to disparage anybody else, but I'll run into somebody and talk to them and they'll say, oh yeah, I've got this going on, I got that going on, and they're kind of hunched over, they're not feeling good, and yeah, I'm going to be 60 next year, I'm going to be 58 next year, and they ask me, you're a young person like you don't have to worry about something like that. But I think that all of that coupled, and chiropractic, a miracle for me. I think it's not just when you're hurt, but I think it should be part of your normal just maintenance to stay healthy.
Yes.
Learn about subluxation, and all the benefits that chiropractic has with that.
And I even know friends in my 40s who are starting to get back and shoulder and foot and ankle and wrist surgeries all the time now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen that too in guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s that don't have as good of health as you have, but they're also not doing all the things that you're doing.
Right. But again, sometimes you need help. And once I learned about subluxation, everything goes through your spine.
Yep.
It controls every aspect of your body, nervous system, organs, all your functions. That was a huge plus for me too when I discovered that in '93.
Yeah.